All right, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Great.
All right, great license class back there. We're gonna get started. We gotta move fast. We got a lot of stuff to do.
Happy birthday, Shaq.
Happy
birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You wanna sing?
Yeah! On three! 1, 2, 3! Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shaq. Happy birthday to you.
That's the black version? Why was Jen so loud? She don't stand a chance. We already know what your kids are with. Lazy as hell. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Love being here. Love being in training. I mean, I always look forward to it. I love Saturday mornings. I don't know why. I just love coming here and being with you guys. So, I am 38. And, basically 40, huh? Right. But I'm rich. So. It's one thing to get older and be accomplished. So I said that just because, yes, I am going through a midlife crisis. Everybody goes through it. But you know what? You guys keep me young. This company keeps me young. Can't use blood hard. So, anyways, if you have people in class, new people, okay, not old people. I mean, 3 people are fine, but you've already gotten recognition for them. If there's some new people in class, let's recognize the people that got people back there. Who has somebody brand new? All right, cool. So, quickly.
So I have Lauren back there in the study session. I met her through Meetup, and I was just sending messages, and she responded last minute, like right before last Saturday. So I invited her to the open house, which I forgot was our super Saturday, but she's still doing on board, and that's just that.
All right.
All right.
Who else?
Good morning. So I had good friends of mine, Scott and Lisa Schoolmiller, and they've been on lists probably for a long time for Sophia, lists of love, and so they're really eager to move away from jobs. For sure, Scott works for the government, and so he's excited to be here. And Marie said they're excellent at studies, they're excellent at knowing people, and Marie's great with IT things.
All right.
All right.
Hey, Kelvin. I got Sam in the back. Like I told you, Miguel and Shaq did an interview on Monday. He came Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, he came in the office with us. Made a list of 84 people. We called, said 3 appointments. We went on one yesterday. We're going 2 today, and he's in the back. I'm super fired up about this guy. He just working at Walmart, got fired up, and then he works at like one of those balloon places, and that in the down season. So I told him to come check it out.
All right.
Hey guys! So, only new people, right? Okay. So, I got Accolade in there. His wife is right here, actually. I met Accolade at Trader Joe's. He's my cashier. And man, he's like a diamond in the rough. This guy's like got 17 certifications and is working right now at Trader Joe's, just trying to find a way out and then go to business with his wife. So he's back there right now.
All right. else?
Hey guys, I'm Josh. I actually reached out to a person I went to high school with on Instagram, and he's very ambitious in his own way. He's like basically a power lifter. Great guy. So he's back there. We're gonna do a orientation today.
All right. Well,
My name's Shondell. Lenny has a new guy back there, his name's Kunit. He got started at the end of the month. Last month, he works at Harris Teeter right now, and so he's excited just about self-improvement, learning, and getting a license. He came out to the office a couple, like 5 years ago, and it wasn't the right time for him, so he's excited now.
All right.
all right, who else?
My name is James. I actually have my daughter here named Alexandra, and she's very excited about it also too. She's one of those people, she recently finished college here a few months ago, and she's one of those people that she was always wanting to own her own businesses. I mean, so she's back there right now taking the test. She's excited about it.
Great job, James.
Who else?
I got two new people back here. Jarmina, I met her a while back at a spoken word event. She has a photography business. She's back there. We recruited her. She's excited about getting her license. So she's back there, and I have Ashley. She actually came here about a week ago. She's a Mary Kay advocate, but she came in here really excited. Passed the test. She's back there too.
All right.
Anybody else?
Matt, I have one guest back there. He came on Monday, came back in for the op on Tuesday, and now he's in class.
All right. All right. All right, so if you are here, if you're not licensed, everybody unlicensed, that has not passed their exam, or if you're here for the first time, or you're a visitor, you'll head back to conference room. Miguel, can you take this back in the conference room in our office? Let's give it up for our unlicensed people, our visitors. All right, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? Great. All right, great licensing class back there. We're gonna get started. We gotta move fast. We got a lot of stuff to do.
Happy birthday, Shaq!
Happy Thank you. You wanna sing?
Yeah. On three. 1, 2, 3. Happy
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shaq. Happy birthday to you.
That's the black version? Why was Jen so loud? She don't stand a chance. She don't stand a chance. We already know what your kids are looking for. Lazy as hell. Thanks, guys, I appreciate it. Love being here, love being in training, I mean, and I always look forward to it. I love Saturday mornings, I don't know why, I just love coming here and being with you guys. So, I am 38, and basically 40, huh? Right. But I'm rich. So.
That's right. Man again.
One thing to get older and be accomplished. So I said that just because, yes, I am going through a midlife crisis. Everybody goes through it.
Right.
But you know what? You guys keep me young. This company keeps me young. Maybe youth at heart. So, anyways, if you have people in class, new people, okay, not old people. I mean, repeats are fine, but you've already got recognition. But if there's some new people in class, let's recognize the people that got people back there. Who has somebody brand new? All right, cool. So, quickly.
So I have Lauren back there in the study session. I met her through Meetup, and I was just sending messages, and she responded last minute, like right before last Saturday. So I invited her to the open house, which I forgot was our super Saturday, but she's still being on board, and now she's back.
All right.
All right.
Who else?
Good morning. So I had good friends of mine, Scott and Lisa Miller, and they've been on lists probably for a long time for Sophia, lists of love, and so they're really eager to move away from job. For sure, Scott works for the government, and so he's excited to be here. And Marie said they're excellent at studies. They're excellent at knowing people. And Marie's great with IT things.
You bring up the new presentation? Is it up there? I don't know tons. So, yeah. All right. Get your presentations out. You have your tablet. We'll go through it. The cool thing about our business, and I don't know if it's necessarily a cool thing, but you have to constantly, obviously, evolve, grow, change, adapt, make adjustments, reinvent, recommit, and one thing that I've learned is you can never get too big to get down, and you always have to be willing to start over. Okay? We don't want that, but you have to always be willing to start over. What happens in life, right, is you become very experienced in a career, and then the company goes out of business, or you get laid off, or like with me, right? The center point of my life is my kids, right? I mean, and I'm a pretty involved parent, and so I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and I have a 1-year-old baby, right? So the 7-year-old and 5-year-old, they kind of were getting a little independent. They could feed themselves. They could start washing themselves after the bathroom.
Yeah.
They didn't have diapers. They got out of pull-ups. And then you have the baby, and she just messed everything up. With all of it. It's like regression. Like, I'm not sleeping anymore, waking up, it's that, and you gotta be willing to start over, right? I can be grumpy about it and gripe about it all day long, but it is what it is, right? Right? So like, I'm going out, I'm out doing appointments, and it's fun because I'm, now I got a couple new people and not just new people that you're training, but different markets that you're training in, right? And everybody's market is different, right? There might be a single parent market, an affluent market, young market. There's difference in different races have different markets, okay? Culturally, everything, right? So you just got, and it's cool because that's our business, right? So you know, you kind of get beat up out there across the kitchen table, but you gotta know the structure of the presentation. I'm gonna, you know, go through some of the things that I'm seeing. Let's kind of, and this is for trainers, okay? And everybody in here, even if you're new and you haven't been out on your own, your goal is to try to get independent as quickly as possible and go out and start going out on appointments, okay? That's where you're gonna get really good. It's where you're gonna get beat up. Your lunch is gonna get taken from you many times, okay? But afterwards, you'll become very good, and then people want to take you places, and you can get results, and you don't need your trainer, and you can set appointments, you can do whatever you want, and once you can field train, and you can get people to district leader, and you can build teams for people, it doesn't matter where they put you, here, Florida, Texas, wherever, you can always build a business. You can do a presentation, okay? So I really want to see kind of where we are, okay? District leaders and up, just raise your hand. Go ahead, raise it up. That's the affirmation, man. It's this month, though, right? Are we having, okay, there's two kind of, if you are by the book, and this is okay, I don't mean this in a bad way, it's going to sound like, you know, I'm leading, I'm not trying to lead. If you're by the book on the presentation, or you find yourselves having more just financial conversations and kind of having a little bit of a framework. So if you're by the book on the presentation, you have a certain flow, it goes just like the presentation's supposed to go, raise your hand. Okay. If you feel you're just having a lot more financial conversations, like people come and you're kind of going around, raise your hand. You think that, Dante? What about you? You kind of look like you're going to raise your hand. No?
I mean, it's 50-50. Sometimes it just goes, sometimes
Okay.
it goes off.
So what has been happening with me, okay, is I have been just having financial conversations with people. I'm going in there, Dante, and the client is taking me off my game. It ends up being a good appointment. We end up getting some business, some here, some there. Get people, you know, invited to the office. They're getting recruited. But I feel like I'm not winning. I'm not having a flow in my presentation. Okay? And it seems like this has actually been extremely recurring, like just 4 or 5 appointments in a row. And I'm like, damn. And what's the downside of that?
Not duplicatable.
Okay, so one, it's not duplicatable at all. Okay? And 2, you end up doing more talking and more work because you got to go back around because the presentation's already designed to overcome things. Right? Like Kelvin was talking to me this morning on the way here. He was talking about having a conversation with somebody about recruiting them. Okay? And the best recruiters, what do? Write it down. Don't blurt it out. What do? The best recruiters. There's a couple things that they do. Obviously large numbers and this and that. But in terms of, if you're talking to somebody and you want to be a great recruiter, okay, you want overrides, you want passive income, you want freedom, you want a business. What do you think? Okay, that's fine. What do you think, Dion? Okay. What do you think, Miguel? Sell the dream? Okay. Like that. What do you think? Okay, well, okay, you're getting very close. She said, don't sell them to Primerica, sell them out of the nightmare that they're facing. Okay, that's very close. The best recruiters kill jobs. Okay, always remember that. The best recruiters kill jobs. They are great at killing jobs. They're great at killing jobs. And the second thing is they get people just to try. Right? When you recruit somebody, you don't have to get them in the business. I want your commitment, you're going to be an RVP. We don't know. let's prick and, have a blood oath. No. Just give this a shot. Just try. Just get a license, right? You always want to bring it back to just getting them to try. Just come to a meeting. Just come to an event. Just go on one appointment. Let's see your friends. Right? Come to the orientation. Come this. Come watch me get recognized. Just get them involved. Suck them in. Whatever you want to say, okay? That's how I've always recruited people. Hey, come check this out. Hey, do this. Hey, just meet me at the office. Just make it very light. And, so Kelvin was talking to me today, and I was like, oh, hey, and he was telling me about how he's talking to somebody, and he said the concern was time, right? Which that's a major concern. If people, you want to recruit people, a major concern is time. I don't have time. So you have to, if you're getting that a lot, you got to handle that up front. Right? Just say, hey, how much time do you have during the week? Right? You just ask them, hey, are you busy? You feel you're a busy person? Do you have extra time? Right? Like one thing we saw in Darren Charles's pre-interview questionnaire, right? What did we see?
The schedule.
Right? They said, hey, if you were to work here, it was right on their pre-interview questionnaire. It said, if you were to work here, how many hours a week could you work? That was on their pre-interview questionnaire. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to change my pre-interview questionnaire, but I think that's a great question, right? Hey, how much time do you have? You're sitting down with somebody, just ask them, hey, do you feel like you have time? Now, we don't want somebody, oh, no, I got all the time in the world. I haven't even worked in 7 years. They're not a good recruit. Okay? They're not a good recruit. So your presentation, and my whole point in saying this is what? The presentation is designed to overcome objections before they come up. And when I just get pulled into stupid conversations, Dante, even though I like it because in my mind I feel it's going faster, then I'll give you a perfect example, right? When Kelvin and our client, right? I went through it, great guy. Went through, got the policy, everything, and I kind of shortcut it a little bit because he wanted it. He just wanted the thing, and I went in there and it was a great appointment, and we got the deal. And now that he has the policy, he's asking all these questions. He's like, oh, hey, well, my friend has group. It's $500,000 for, 1 cent. I'm like, shut up. And now I'm just mad, right? Now I'm not like nice person. I'm like, okay, now you're just stupid. But it was my fault. Because I didn't do what I should have done in the presentation. Now I got to go back, now I got to deliver the policy, now I have a straight client, and this guy, I don't even know how he got preferred. He shouldn't be preferred. I want to call the company and be like, this guy's not preferred. That's how I'm sad at this guy's ratings, man. I'm like, did you check his height and weight? Because I ain't preferred, he ain't preferred. Okay? And that's how mad I am at this. I was like, damn, preferred. And he's shopping me. I was like, you dumbass, you got freaking preferred. And you're not preferred. I promise you. I can look at the eyeball test. You are not preferred. Is he preferred? No way. No way. I'm shocked. I'm like, this is an error. This is wrong. On so many levels, it's wrong. For all the people that should be preferred and they're not. For him to get preferred. And he's shopping. Why? It's not his fault. It's my fault. I went in and I kind of wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and, just kind of, did a little quick sell. And I'm not saying you got to go through every single thing. But an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Do it up front. Do it up front. Now I don't. Now I'm backpedaling. I'm on my heels, man. I'm going uphill. And I'm good. I mean, NSD. This is. I think we'll save it because he's listening, but it's still annoying. And I'm thinking in my head, I should have just done what I needed to do up front. And when you see the presentation, when I go through it, right? I know sometimes it's long. Sometimes you can't cut corners. Number one, you're not training your team properly. And number two, you're going to have to do more work later. Okay? So I'm going to go through some stuff. We're going to go through the presentation, go through some outlines. We'll try to make this interactive. And I know you guys have heard this a lot, okay? Everybody's chasing me. Are you my friend? Who did? I'm sorry, I lost my contacts.
Oh my God.
You wanna say I didn't save you.
New phone.
Yeah. Hey, my contacts got deleted. Oh, yes. I remember you. No, I don't. All right. All right. When getting into the house, okay, how long should it go till you get into open up the presentation?
20 minutes.
20 minutes? 5 to 7. Look, I want to get actually and open my thing as quickly as possible. Okay? Why? I'll tell you why. It goes from a conversation to concentrate. We're about to do a presentation. Okay? If you set the tone, look. I'm not all about efficiency. Okay? Because some of this is just conversing with people. Okay? Look. If you are a super talkative person, which is a lot of people are, okay, they got a lot of great stuff on their minds, they want to talk, okay? Why social media is so important, right? Self-expression, right? And I'm all for that, it's cool, some of the stuff, I like the fact that you can follow Tom Brady and, see what is on his mind a little bit and get a glimpse of that world. So I'm not always poo-pooing it, but everybody, food was hot today. Noodles were great. Come on. Tone it down a little bit. But, okay, more is not less, less is more. You want to speak less, let them talk. But more importantly, if you open up and it takes 20 minutes or even 10 minutes is a long time, okay, before you just open up. You have set the tone that this is going to be a lot of talking. And let's talk a lot, you and me, and it's okay. I got all the time in the world. Okay? You don't have all the time in the world. You got to be in and out, and this is a look, I'm not saying not every appointment's perfect, okay? You can go long. You can go short. Ideal time, an hour and a half. How long? Right? Look. This is field training, okay? A lot of you guys are going to have to go out on your own really quickly. You better get this stuff, okay? I want to go and Ingrid, I want to open my freaking tablet within 5 minutes. Doesn't mean I'm going to get right into it, but I want to open up and get it, 5 minutes of going in. All right. So, build rapport, you do build rapport, right? Ask some questions, Susan, right? Build rapport. How do you build rapport? You're going out on your own. What do you say, Miguel?
Just ask how they're doing, if they have kids, ask what they're doing with their kids.
How they are, right?
Build a real relationship prior to it.
Okay, awesome. What do you do, Donald?
Same thing, come in, how you doing, what's going on, so regular, about family or something like that.
Okay, all right. What else? Anybody else got some go-tos?
Find something in the house that's
Yeah,
related.
in the house.
Sports.
Okay.
Pictures.
How did you guys meet?
How did you guys meet? I love asking that question. Right, that's my question, that's my go-to. How did you guys meet? That usually brings up some nostalgia, right? One for people that are married, right? I'm going on 10 years married. Somebody gave me a huge something in advice, and I actually do this all the time. Okay, I mean, at least once a month. Okay? Somebody said, hey, always look at the pictures of your wedding. Always. I just always look at them. Always. I always look at my wedding pictures. Right? I remember hair, I had a little more hair. But that's, right? So people get this nostalgia from, hey, how'd you know? Yeah, this bad. We met in college, we met through a friend, we met this. It's a funny story. Really? Oh, yeah. You know? Right? This is what they are. And people, they like to hear, somebody said, somebody feels you're a good friend if they can hear themselves talking to you. Think about that.
Right.
You're a good friend if I can hear myself talking to you. So that, you want to keep it kind of short, but hey, how'd you guys meet this stuff, right? Get into it. Bill report is very important. Then we get into the presentation. 3 outcomes, right? Hey, listen, when we share this information, one of these 3 things happen, if not all 3. People get excited. We start thinking people that value, want to become a client, partnership, we're all looking for people. And we do that because what? Why are we doing that, Perez?
Have them on our team, grow the
Huh?
business.
Right, but what's the point of this slide? What are we doing? Setting expectations, setting the table, right? Just, we're putting it all out there, we're laying some of our cards on the table, right? Planting seeds. Before we get into the presentation, and I do it before this slide, what's the main question we have to ask? Oh. What do we ask? Miguel. I do it before this. I actually do it before this slide. And I forgot it in my notes, but.
Have you ever worked with a financial advisor before?
Has anyone ever done any financial work for you? Okay. You see what I just said? Has anyone ever done any, and I emphasize that word, any financial work for you? Have you had any financial work done at all? Any planning? Jimmy Jim, why do we ask that? Okay, we do have to know that. Well, why else? Not that nice. Okay. Now, generally, we want to ask questions we already know the answer to, okay? Now, some you just can't predict, okay? Go ahead. Okay. Okay. So, okay, number one, it starts, in the beginning, we're on defense, we get to get on offense a little bit. So I asked Kelvin, hey, Kelvin, has anyone ever done any financial work for you in life?
No.
Okay, so he says no, not at all. Number one, he just punted the ball. That's it, that's a punt. We got the ball now. Now we just got to continue to move the chains, and we're going to get in the end zone. That's the first punt. We have the ball now. So he says no, not no. You know, now what do we do? You know? Daniel? He says no. No. Delete say, you know? What do we say?
Great.
Okay, go ahead. Let me hear it. Okay, give me the whole thing. Go ahead, come on. Say it exactly like it. So you asked me, no, we've never done anything.
Well, most people don't sit down and come on because they're too expensive, or maybe they don't.
Oh, who trained you? For just Ever seen Donnie Brasco? That you get sent for. This is you're bringing her in, you vouch for her, you might get whacked. Okay, so what did Luis tell you to say? Don't raise your hand if I train you. Who else? All right. Go ahead. This is basic stuff, guys. I know I go over this all the time.
Usually, you've never received any financial help before, it's just that you never really got around to it, or you didn't need it. Which one kind of best describes it?
That was closer. Okay, and I know you know it. Okay, but you got it. I mean, look, this how important is the first minute of the presentation? This is it. This is it. Well, Shondell just said it, right? Shondell said, this is how you're going to know how the appointment's going to go. You can't box this one. Some of the slides, I don't care what you go over. I don't even care what you say here. I mean, it's good. You just got to say, look, man, see some information. Maybe you can introduce us to people. You might become a client yourself, and we look for people to recruit, okay? I wouldn't care that much. Do I think you should say that? No. I think you should follow through. Hey, look, people get excited. They start thinking of other people. But you can't, that first transition, you can't mess up. That is the number one thing. Diego, Julissa, has anyone ever done any financial work for you? Usually when a family hasn't had any financial work done, one, they didn't think they needed it. We don't need it. Two, they didn't think they could afford it. Or three, they just never got around to it. Yeah. Procrastination. Which one of those describes you? So you feel it's something that you need? But, okay. So you feel it's something you need to just look at life, just never got around to it. You see that? That is exactly what happens. That is exactly it. I'm running the ball back now. I have received the punt and I've made a defender miss, and now I see lanes. I might run this back for a touchdown. Do you know how hard it is? Not hard. It's not hard. Okay, I don't want to say that, but you're going in, and I'm taking Josh to go see somebody, and this is the first time I've met them, and I'm going to get a check. You got to do a couple of things right. Okay, and I know some of your trainers, some of your RVPs, some of your field trainers, they make it look easy. It's not easy. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and that's okay, because once you get it down, you're freaking paid. And somebody texted me this morning, right? They're like, "Happy birthday," and then they're like, "How's life as an NSD?" And I was thinking in my head, Dante, I can't even explain it to you. Your head would explode. I mean, it just would explode. Not having financial problems, having money, income coming in all the time. I'm like, oh man, my problem is I gotta get packed because I'm going to Hawaii for 6 days. You know what I mean? Like, that's my problem. That's like, man, I can't wait, Omar, to move into this house, and I'm thinking about I didn't know there was this whole concept of outdoor furniture. So I'm looking into because I got a pool, right? And I like swimming. I love to swim, right? So I was like, I'm gonna buy a cabana, and I'm gonna buy all this stuff, and I was like, oh shoot, $5,500. I was like, okay, all right. But there's this whole world of outdoor furniture. I thought you had furniture, but there's outdoor patio furniture. And I was like, damn, okay, all right. And there's high-end, modern cabanas. And I'm like, I'm going to live in a hotel. I'm straight up going to live in a hotel. Our pool has a waterfall. And she's like, damn, I'm selling the dream. My kids, I'm like, yeah, come here, what do we need, this and that. I'm like, man. And they're like, okay, so, And my son asked me, because he knows, he's smart. He's like, Memorial? I said, no, we got our own pool. It's heated. This thing's going to be open all the time. 3 months it'll be closed. And he's like, wait, what? He's trying to process it. He's like, it doesn't not after school ends? No, we don't get 3 months. This ain't the public rec center. Right? And look, when you guys come in, use the restroom. Okay? I'm peeing in my pool, man. Don't do it. That's capital punishment, man. Okay? Ocean, I don't care. Okay? You can do whatever you want. Community pool, that's why they get chlorine. My pool, you gotta get out. Okay? You gotta use the bathroom, right? Matt, I know what you do. It's like, in swimming, I'm bad, man. Like swimming lessons, my son's like, Dad, I gotta go to the pool. You're in the pool, man. My wife's like, no, don't do that. Now I'm haunted on that forever. All right, who wants to run it back? Who wants to do it? Miguel. Do it. No, just the question.
So has anybody done any financial, or given any financial help?
No.
Alright, so usually when people haven't had any financial help, it's out of three things. One is that they thought they never needed it, or two, they thought they couldn't afford it, or they just didn't get around time to do it. Which one do you think you are?
Okay, that's good. You got the 3 points, okay? You kind of have to elaborate a little bit on that, okay? Just because if you ask it really straight up, you're not going to get the real answer, and you're definitely not going to get the answer that you want. Okay? What answer do we want? Never got around to it. That's exactly right. We want never got around to it. Or second best is we can't afford it. We don't want, we don't need it. And you might get that. Okay? If we get we don't need it, then they still got the ball. You've gotten a penalty. Right?
You saying that, I've done a few appointments like by myself, and that like if I don't, like if I say just like Miguel, they come back a little harder at me. Like I don't need it.
Right.
Like if I do the like, you didn't have time, or we just didn't have time. Then they're like, it's like a friendly, oh, we didn't have
Right.
time.
Right.
But if I don't do that, they're like, I don't need it.
Right.
You're just giving me my friend.
Right. I don't like to elaborate too much and put too much on the script, but I'm going to say a couple extra things just so you got to really get this, okay? So think about it. I take Miguel, I see Miguel's dad. Miguel's like, man, I'm busy. Miguel's dad's, I'm busy. I got work early in the morning. What is this all about? Fine, I'll help you. Come on. Okay? I'm going in there and I'm trying to do a presentation. I'm trying to get results. This sets the table, right? Hey, has anyone done any financial work for you at all? Miguel, has anyone ever done any financial work for you? No. So usually when a family has not had any financial work done, nothing at all, usually it's due to one of the following 3 reasons. One, they didn't think they could afford it. One, they didn't think they needed it. We don't need it. What I just do? What just happened? Yeah. No. I mean, think about it. You're the client. What just happened? What did I just do? Right. A little bit, right? We don't need it. They don't want to be like that, right? It's one, they think they need it. We don't need it. Right? And I say that. We don't need it. Because they don't want to say that. They don't want to come across like that. So, usually when people have not had any financial work done, it's usually due to one of the following 3 reasons. One, they think they need it. We don't need it. 2, they didn't think they could afford it. They heard financial planning is very expensive, so they couldn't afford it. Or 3, they just never got around to it. Kind of classic case of procrastination. They feel it's something they need, but kids, family, job, you understand. They just never got around to it. Which one describes you? Hopefully I have eliminated the first one by just that little comment. They didn't think they needed it. We don't need it. Right? we don't need it. And I mean, if you've been on appointments with me, you know that's what we don't need it. And I say it like that, I give them an eye look, we don't need it, like, you know, and a touch of arrogance, overconfidence. And then they usually say, we just never got around to it. And I don't jump down their throat. You see, I'm very calm, very reserved. Okay, so you feel, this is something you feel you do need. That's it. Now I'm ready to go. Now I'm going into it. I feel great. We're 1st and 10. At midfield, we just got to get a couple first downs. We're getting a touchdown. Okay? And at the very least, we may not get a touchdown. We're in field goal range, and then we come back and we close. You see? You understand? Yeah, you want to do it? Do it. You're out there on your own, man. Right? You got licensed people now. You guys got to get good quick. Go ahead.
Alright, has anybody done any financial work for you?
No.
Alright, usually, when they haven't had any financial work, it's 1 to 3 reasons. One, they thought we didn't need it. Two, they thought they couldn't afford it. Or 3, they just didn't get around time to do it.
Okay, that was better than the first time, but it wasn't what I just did. What did I do? Alex. Go ahead.
Oh. Alright, has anyone ever done any financial work for you?
No.
Usually, if that's the case, it's because of 1 of 3 reasons. 1, they just felt like they didn't need it, like, we don't need it. 2, it's because they didn't have time to get around to it, it's work, kids, you know, chores, whatever. Classic case of procrastination. And 3, because they felt like they couldn't afford it. Everything they've heard about financial planning, you know, they've heard that's expensive. So of these 3 reasons, which would describe yourself?
Okay. So you had the 3, not in the right order, but you had the 3. And he did the thing that I was looking for you to do.
Yeah.
We don't need it. You got to say that. We don't need it. Shondell.
Has anyone done any financial work for you? So usually when I sit down with them and they haven't done any financial work at all, it's usually the one first, they just say, I don't need it, like, you don't need it. Second thing is they just feel that they can afford it, or I gotta do the financial services is a lot more expensive than it really is, but we look for balance. And then the third thing is they say that they just don't get around to it. So, I mean, that's fascinating. Maybe they just take the time to do it. So,
Yeah, I think they get around to it. Right, that's it. Now, if they say that, what do you say though? Very close, what do you say? If I say I didn't get around to it, what do we say? Okay, you could say that. That's what you said. So you feel, right? Oh, so you feel like this is something that you do need. Right? Right? You just hung yourself. Right? I just put you in a straight line. No wiggle room. We're going to drive down the field and score. Right? And this is not us versus the client, okay? It's us versus middle class thinking. Okay? But how you set that table is very important. All right, Johnny, you do it. Here's it. This is it. Then we'll move on. But this is how important this is. Okay? You go in, Miguel, you get a great appointment, you set the table, everything's downhill from here. Everything. I mean everything.
All right. Usually when like you have financial return from me, usually one main thing that you get it is because
You're nervous.
we don't need it.
Okay.
Yeah. And 2, the main thing is afford it because financial, they show that financial work is expensive. And 3, they just enough around to what I can pay them to. Put down the money.
You're next, man. You're next.
Who's at least explains the
Me either. Ready, Brandon? I'm not gonna finish that spot. Why you let your man laugh at you like that, man? You wanna do it?
He's always flawless, so I'm like, what's going on?
Now listen, let me tell you something. I'm in everybody's head. That's how I win all these sports games. Johnny boy. All right. We're disturbing here, creating an enemy. Right? It's okay that you're not doing well financially, nobody else is either. A little bit. Go through this very quickly. And I love doing this slide because then these are how financial companies have responded. And then you tell our story a little bit. And we're presenting that we are a different type of company. Passion has to come out, excitement to work with the company, or a different type of company. Founded by a high school teacher, his dad was ripped off, his mom was ripped off when his dad died by an insurance company, and a company by a teacher has created this, right? And this is even when you give them more credibility. The #1 financial services company, here are all our accolades. Most people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. We build financial plans for families. This is what we do. This is what we're going to be. And if you want, depending on where you are, depending on what the client says and how you got to the appointment, you can be very assumptive, right? What can we say, Dante, here? We're done. What do we say if you want to be assumptive here? You know? Who knows? That's what we're going to build for you. So I'm not going to put it out there. Hey, this is what we're going to do for you. Right? We're going to build we build financial plans for families. If it's going great, you assume, hey, this is what we're going to do for you. Now they see themselves owning it. I pulled out a few pages, help me in this section. I'm not going to go over the rule 72 because I want to get to the insurance stuff. Again, and I say this all the time, right? One objection you're going to get, especially on closing on the first, we don't have the money. That's what this does. When you ask them how much money they waste, it helps you ask for a check at the end, a deposit. Your guard's down. How much money do you normally waste on every day? If I hooked you up to a lie detector, Ingrid, can you do this? Just the intro to this slide. I'm your client. I'm your prospect. What do you say?
The previous slide, this is a $20,000. And I said, okay, so that sounds like a lot, so we'll actually put another number, and let's say $200, right? Is $200 a lot of money nowadays?
Perfect. Always ask that. That's a great question to open up. Is $200 a month a lot of money? Good. Go.
And then if I were to get to life insurance as now, right? And let's say, how much money do you spend on a daily basis? You know, every once in a while we'll stop by for Starbucks or 7-Eleven. How much would you say, more or less, you guys spend each day?
Okay. Spend, or what do we say?
Waste.
Yeah, waste. Okay. Waste. Right? How much would would you say you waste? Now, I'm not talking about spending, but just wasting. Okay? And you gotta give them some examples, which is perfect. Starbucks, convenience shop. I say eating out when you should have packed, leftovers. Right? I'm in such a bad habit, Omar, of eating out. It's so bad. I literally want to eat out all the time. And I do carry out. It's such a waste of money. I got a salad yesterday. It was salad. I was like, this is grass and lettuce. It was $11. I was like, I could get like 3 bags of this at the store for like $3. Oh, they give me a little dressing in a container and they charge me $11. I'm just telling you, because like I see this, I'm like, damn man, this is like crazy. Like, so you gotta give some examples of how people are wasteful, right? Convenience shopping, Starbucks. I mean, look, my wife, I got my wife when, okay, pause that, okay? That's fine, okay. I got my wife an espresso machine. Thousands, I think it was like $1,500. And she still gets Starbucks every day. I was like, all right, if I get this, I won't have to get Starbucks. That's what she said. And I was like, man, you get some every day. Every day. Does that mean?
She heard. She's watching.
It's the little one, I think it's $4.50 for the little cup. Every day, 30 days, 120. Right? Wasting money. Right, so Starbucks, we say that's like a huge guilty pleasure for a lot of people. Convenience shopping. I use the leftovers. I say, just eat out when you probably should have had leftovers, pack your lunch. Just put their guard down a little bit. They have the money, man. They have the money. And if you do it right, they can't really fight you that hard at the end on $120. Because they know they waste money. And look, if you live here, I don't care. Me, I'm very frugal with my money. People waste this crap load of money. So,
You like, actually, be pretty high. They might even say like 20 or something in there. Like, let's bring it down even more. Let's say it's $10 a day. If you like, that's $300 a month.
right.
So is it really that much money nowadays?
No.
So
There
that's
you go.
our guessing.
That's a good job. So I said, hey Ingrid, if I were to do is $200 a month a lot of money? How much, and if I hooked you up to a live there, how much money do you think you waste every day? Now, I'm not talking about spending money, but waste, just stupid, Starbucks, convenience shopping, setting up, signs, or maybe you should have packed a lunch or ate some leftovers to eat out every time. Right? And some days you might waste $0, but sometimes you make $20. So if you average it every day, how much do you think you waste? $10, $15. So $15. So we know probably 10. Okay, so $10 a day is $300 a month. Right, just let her process that for a little bit, and then continue on with the presentation. All right. So your job, okay. I'll go through some things on theory real quick because the slides are gone from there. Okay. So let me look up. I made some notes here. And Shondell was showing me, or a bunch of people have been texting me about the company has a new op meeting, and their theory is really good, so we'll probably implement that in here. I was looking at some of the slides, the animations, and really good. So, what's the worst thing, we talk about protecting financial independence, what's the worst thing that can happen to a family financially? Right, they always going to say someone loses a job, absolutely right, someone loses a job. If you lose a job, you can always get another. You let them answer, job. Right? They gotta hear the finality of it. Like now it's starting to move into protecting families, death. We don't want to get super gloomy, but this is real. Jalal and I went and we sat down with somebody, right? Yesterday. It was just a, We actually got ambushed, right? By PFA.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Right? And, you know, this guy just lied to him and said, I'm interested in buying insurance. And I was like, I got a client. I was like, all right, fine, we will go out there. And it's like 2 kids and they're from PFA. I think they know too. I think they're your brother. Or Casper, or Peter, one of you guys. And so I just destroyed them for freaking 45 minutes. I just crushed them. It was terrible. They didn't know what to say, you know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you know. And I was just like, you know. But they were selling all these living benefits, and they were saying all this stuff, you know. And they're like, look, they said this. They go, in today's day and age, in modern, and these guys, and what did we notice about them though? They were sharp, weren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can say whatever you want. They were sharp. They were liars. They were snakes. But they were sharp. They spoke really well. They had great vocabulary. They knew how to trick people. Not me, but they knew how to do it. I'm being for real. Like, I was like, damn, okay. And I said, I think I called Matt on the way back. And I was like, I would love to recruit those type of people. Meaning, like, not those dishonest part of it, but like young, ambitious, driven, sharp people. One kid was 21. I was like, dude, you don't look 21. I mean, he was very, very well put together for a 21-year-old. I was like, damn, I didn't think you were 21 at all. Right? But he goes, all these living benefits and all this stuff. You know, people don't die young. I go, what did you say? I said, I've been delivering 1 death claim a month. He goes, people don't die prematurely, right? Remember he said that? He goes, we don't feel people die prematurely. I go, really? I just had a client, they went parasailing and the wife fell out of the parasol and died. She was 40. He's like, I was like, have you delivered to that client? He goes, no. Like, people don't die young. I was like, do you ever drive on 495 and see accidents? And you ever cut the news on at all? I mean, we sell living benefits. No, we sell insurance for kids. This is what I said, for kids. I was like, you know, I was like, hey, how much is your average policy? He goes, 500,000. I said, how much do you pay a month? How much is your average premium? He goes, 250 a month, 3,000 a year. I said, you know, me and my wife have millions. We pay $2,500 a year. Millions, each, millions. I've increased it so many times I literally don't know how much I have right now. I think I have 2.25, and I think my wife has 1.5. And we pay $2,300 a year. You're getting a family that doesn't have the money to pay $3,000 a year for 500 grand, if that. I was like, if somebody died and you could have given them $1 million, and you could have given the kids $1 million, and I know some of your policies are less than 500,000, and you gave them 100,000. I go, how would you feel about that? I mean, these are kids. I mean, how would you feel? He goes, I give the clients all the information and I let them pick. That's what he said. I go, do you have a securities license? He goes, no. I said, well, then you can't give them all the information. You can only give them one part of the information. Awesome. You can't even give them that side. And I just completely just killed him. And I wasn't doing it just to do it. I was doing it so he'd learn a little bit. And I was just hanging to it. It was a Friday afternoon, I'm driving, freaking, you know, I thought we got a sale. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm going on an appointment. I got my folder all ready. I'm like, get the application, beneficiary referral, we got it. And then they freaking sit down with those little kids, you know, kill them. It's funny. But, you know, part of our presentation has to get real, right? Now, we're not going to go 0 to 100, but 0 to 50. Okay? We can't go like right there planning your funeral, let's buy a burial plot. Okay? But we have to talk about this, and this is where the passion, this is our crusade, man, right here. This is where the crusade comes out. Right? So, because now there's not as many clicks in this, so I just want to go over some basic points on this. I'm going to give you some points, not all the talking points, but just the bullet points, okay? So what's the worst thing that can happen to family? Someone loses a job. If you lose a job, you can always get another. And you got to walk them. You say, if you lose a job, you can always get another job. So what's the worst thing that can happen? Why? Because you lose the income permanently. Always ask them what's the purpose of life insurance. Great question. What do you feel the purpose of life insurance is? Make sure I take care of my family if something happens or whatever. That's right. Life insurance does not protect the life, it protects the income that makes life possible for our family. Income protection. Okay. So, the question's not on here because there's a lot of clicking, okay? But, it actually is on here, but it's not, there's a few clicks. If you were to pass away tomorrow, what the? Why is it double clicking? Okay, that might be messed up on. Where did we fix it? Does it do that? Who's been using this presentation?
No, it's not supposed to. I'll figure it out.
No, that's fine. If you were to pass away, if you die tomorrow, how would you want to leave your family? Better, worse, or minimum stay the same? Yeah. Of course, right? I believe everybody does believe that, and they say that. But if something actually did happen tomorrow, how would you leave your family? Are they better off? Are they worse? Financially, are you prepared? That's it. That's all you said. Are you prepared? Great question. Are you prepared? One thing that I do is I always ask, why do people need life insurance? Why do people need life insurance? Friends, why do people need life insurance?
Basically, it's like mentioned, so while they don't have money now, security.
Yeah, why do people need life insurance? And I'll ask the client. So say I'm asking you as a client. Why do people need life insurance? Right? Now, they're never going to say that. Okay? But I know you know. We know you're smart. Thank you. You're like Josh here. Right? What do your clients say? They'll say, just in case something happens. Right? They say, just in case something happens. My kids, make sure my family's okay. So, but why do you need life insurance? I'm just going to keep asking. And then I want to get to, and then if they still don't know, I said, does everybody need life insurance? They'll say, sure. I said, and then I'll say, does Bill Gates need life insurance? I'll say, well, I mean, I'm sure he wants it. Does he need it? Why not? He has money. I want to explain that to them. If you have money, you don't need life insurance. You can have it. You want it, but you don't need life insurance. And if you and this is all about questions. I'll ask them, what's better, money or life insurance? What would you rather have, $500,000 in the bank or $500,000 life insurance? What would you rather have, Joel? $500,000 in the bank, $500,000 life insurance?
$500,000 in the bank.
Why? Right, exactly. If you live, right, you easily. Life insurance is only good upon your death. Right? It's a basic concept that people just don't understand. It's that simple. The only reason people need life insurance is because they don't have money. If they don't have money and they die with lots of debt, high bills, young kids, what happens? That's it. That's all you're explaining. That's all you're explaining in this slide. That's why this slide's amazing. It's that simple. This is it. This is foundation for everything our company was founded for is this slide. You have to be great at this slide. Asking the questions, leading them, getting them to understand it, self-insurance. In the early years, and I'm just going to read through it, but don't worry about this, okay? In the early years, you might not have a lot of money because you're starting out, you have a lot of responsibilities, kids, debt, mortgage, so permanent loss of income would be necessary. That's when you need a lot of life insurance to cover the gap. But down the road, 20 or 30 years from now, your mortgage is paid, kids are grown, you took care of your financial responsibilities. And what do you need in retirement? Always asking that. What do you need in retirement? John, what do you need in retirement? Money. You need money. See, two things are going to happen. I used to say this all the time. I say it's inevitable. Either you're going to die early or you're going to make it to retirement. Right? Now the company's done a better job of saying it, but right, either you're going to die too soon or you're going to live too long. Right? But I would say two things are going to happen for sure. Either you're going to die early or you're going to make it to retirement. One of those things is going to happen. You make it to retirement, you need money. If you die early, you need insurance because you don't have money. Okay. Go through this, just read these. And then we want to get here. Where is this? Big red house. Okay. We want to speed through the presentation, not speed through, but take the time on where we need to take the time, the very beginning, definitely the theory of decreasing responsibility, and we want to get here to the financial house. Okay? Now, once we get to the house, we have some choices, right? We ask them, hey, what are their top priorities? Or we can lead them right to insurance if you want to lead them right to insurance, whatever you prefer. Okay? Start with the income, start with the foundation. I want to build it without quality materials. What would you say if I said that? I'm building a house, all that stuff, all the stuff that I've taught you, okay? Say we go and I want to click on income protection. Okay? I just want people to understand the Resource Act. Again, like I said, you don't have to be thorough, but then you're going to have to rush to deliver those policies, and you have to save every one. I want to do my work on the front end, Miguel, explaining them what they're getting, why they're getting what they're getting, and why the other options are terrible. Right? Say, for example, I go through, right? Say, how much coverage do they have? Matt, how much coverage do you have?
100.
Okay. Do you feel overinsured, underinsured, not sure?
Actually, sometimes if I ask it just like that, I feel like it's about right.
Okay. And is that through your work or is that private?
It's through my work.
Okay. If he said private, or if he said, I still have to go through group, because I'm telling you, we're going to lose so many to group. This is Kelvin's good friend and this and that, and he's talking about group. Same thing I always say, and I always teach up here, and I was like, this guy gets it, his wife gets it, he gets it, right? And he's like, oh man, I talked to somebody and they have $500,000. Literally, this is, I know I exaggerate, he said they have $500,000 for $13 a month. And I was just like, I started getting my twitch in the thing, right? And I'm sitting there having to beg, no, she told no, remember I told you I did it, I'm serious. I started, and I was just like, that was my fault. I didn't go through it. I had the time. I should have gone through it. Right? Now I'm going to save it, but I got to drive over there. I got to rework. It sours the whole deal. Right? Now it's something that we have to do, and I'm going to do it. So when we get here, if they have a policy, write down, what do we do? And I'm not talking about the technology of it, because technology is irrelevant. If they have a policy, what do we do? Okay, hold on. Write down the strategy. They have a policy. So Miguel, you find out they got a policy. Oh yeah, no. We took care of the insurance. We got that a long time ago. Right? They say they have a policy. What do we do, Therese?
Oh, you go get it for me.
Okay, I know that's what we say. What's our strategy first
Okay.
before that? You're right, that's what we do.
Mhm.
Say, "Can I have a glass of water?" While you go get me a policy real quick.
No.
But yes.
Have I ever said that? I'm not saying, it's actually kind of smart, okay?
Yeah.
I think that I would know what you're doing, and I would say, get the hell out of my house.
Right.
Ask questions to see what they know about the policy.
What are we doing? He said ask questions, see what they know about, but what are we trying to do?
Create uncertainty.
Create uncertainty about the policy, creating doubt about the policy. We gotta get them doubtful, then you ask for the policy. Now, you can go right for the policy if they have it, now, depending on, yeah, I have the policy, this and that, but I wanna ask a couple questions about their policy to see how it works, how long it is, how much term they have, how much they're paying. And I'll just ask them, oh, okay, you have a policy? How much do you pay? I think it's $60. Or a quarter. And they do, I promise, this is what they do. I said, do you know how much coverage you have? 500. Wait, is it 250? I have 250? Or 500 me? No, remember, you're not covered through my, And they start doing like that.
Yeah.
Then I already know, they don't know what they got. So now I'm gonna get their policy. Right? You have to create that uncertainty, let them have the back and forth where they don't know what they have. Listen, at the end of the day, okay, you have to be able to get a life check. And you have to be a life insurance assassin in this business. Okay? I love it all. I promise you. I love it all. I love getting a big rollover. I love getting a recruit. I love getting a test passer. I love my attendance growing. I love your life check. Like a max case, I don't know what it is about it. You get a 1,500, I don't know. I'm a life insurance junkie. I'm not sure. Okay, maybe something's wrong with me. Okay, but if I can get a max, like it's just like, yo, I got a max. Boom. You know, one night close. It just does something to me, man. It's like a fix for a junkie, man. I love it. All right, so it's an offer. You got to know. Oh man, it's so funny they did this. That's how our business is done. Across the kitchen table, man. Buy term, invest a difference. I didn't. I was mad that we wasted our time, but I once in a while, Joel, it's good to go out and have those conversations with people because you see what they're doing to people. I was like, damn, you trained early to do this to families. 21 doing this stuff. Oh, well, no, I say this or that, right? They choose. Right? Snakes, right? This is what we do, we protect families, right? So, if they have a policy, we have to click through, okay? This is the technology side of it, so click through, Thomas. Or, I think we'll just go, no, go back. I'll just click through, okay? Do you know how your policy works? Why did you buy your existing policy? And then just ask general questions. How much is it? How much do you pay? How much coverage do you have? Do you know if it's term? Does it have savings built into it? This is a great question. Why did you buy it? Is it protection coverage? Investment? Oh, I got mine. I can borrow against, right? Then you're starting to learn a little bit more. If you were to change benefit, what would the issues more? Lower cost, more coverage, better return. We find almost everyone greatly benefits by allowing us to evaluate their existing insurance, even those with term. I'll promise I will never ask you to change any financial program if there's not a significant advantage that's obvious to you. Do me a favor, grab your policy. What do you say? That's why Josh is at 0 Do me a favor, grab the pot. I don't say, can you grab it? I say, say no. So I gotta be very, like, with my words, I learned that a long time ago. The guy that trained me, Mark, was really good at this. And he, you know, he would always say, do me a favor, grab your policy. He just was so good. So I just said, do me a favor, grab your policy. And then they'll say, oh, let someone else do it. It's important. And then what do we say? It's important, man.
Great for the training.
It's great for Josh. He can learn to read through these stuff. Now you're giving them more reasons to grab it. Right?
Or if you're by yourself.
Yeah, you said to me, I think it'd be worth it for me to read through it. I'd like to read through it. It's probably good for us to read it from the strength. I mean, sometimes you are by yourself. Something like that. You can't use a training.
What is like the timetable in your head? Like when do you cut off the search for the policy? But I know some people have like flipped over mattresses looking for it, and then there's some that'll like come back in 2 seconds. I don't know. Like when do you cut it off?
I would, okay. It's always, look, if you get the policy, it's like 90% you'll get the sale. Because it's in there, it's written, it's binding information, you know. If you don't get the policy, you definitely have to come back for a second meeting probably. And even if you get the policy, you probably have to come back.
I had a lady who was calling policy. I asked her how she did. She's an automatic, so I made her check her bank account because she was living in the company. And when I was to call it us at the company, I just let her call. Because we do all the home, and we got all the information right there.
Okay. So I think that's great. I think that you have to be very, and this is not the right word, but so I guess industrious, right? You have to be very, like, you gotta want that policy and let them know it's really important. Schedule a time to pick it up, have it emailed, called. I think that's a great, you know, but don't just say, oh, no, I'll just destroy it without the policy. What do they think? If you say all this stuff and you actually don't get the policy, Peter, what do they think?
That's not my policy.
Huh?
That's not my policy.
My policy doesn't work like that, right? Right? No, I know, but the guy that told me is different. No, this is my friend. Right? He was Vietnamese. Right? Mine doesn't work like that. I get the money. Right?
We had someone before when we were training that safety deposit box, or we're moving and it's in a box somewhere so we can't find it, and we just were never able to get back in the door and get those policies again. And it was for sure whole life because we talked about it, but we were never able to get back again. So what would you say? I mean, I think that's a really smart way to get it.
Yeah, I mean, you schedule a time to, like, hey, I'm gonna come back to pick up these policies. I mean, it sucks. I mean, yeah, or you can call, maybe get a duplicate copy, you know, is there something you do?
No, I mean, if it's the right time of day, I'll check to see if the insurance company's still open, and I'll call the insurance company with them.
Yeah, that's how important it is. I mean, that's the sale. That's $1,000, could be $1,500. And obviously, more importantly, obviously, that's your commission. You're getting them out of a bad policy. You know, and you can give them a sense of urgency. If they say they want, you know, money's tight for them, and theirs is going to be more expensive. Say, look, I know I can reduce your premiums, man. If you qualify for my policy, I know I can reduce it. This is important. I don't want you. He said, I don't want you paying another premium to these guys.
So when you call and is that something they're gonna give you information once you wait for the person, and when it's like a three-way going on, you're just asking to verify the questions in the presentation.
No, I would try to get another policy. I would try to get a duplicate policy, or then yes, how much coverage they have, how much they pay, how much they have cash values at option A or B, you know, stuff like that. And here's the thing. Remember what I talked about being an insurance assassin, like a sharpshooter? You got to be very comfortable calling three-way with the client, calling the insurance, asking these policies, right? Like before, now they have like real security detail, but before we could call and we would ask them just about policies. Now they won't give it to you, right? You go, hey, tell me about variable life, how does it work? And I'm like, oh yeah, this, you know, and they'll give you all the information, but oh, the cash, how's it, oh, that stays with us. Now they won't, they have to verify that you're a policyholder and this and that, but before you could call, and we learned all this stuff. Hey, tell us about flexible premium adjustable life. Tell us about universal life, variable universal life. Now the big one is the index equity, right? What is it?
Index universal.
IUL, right? IUL tracks the market, tracks the index, right? They're all saying this stuff. You gotta learn all about it. These companies are getting very creative in selling this stuff, right? And listen, for you, forget the client. You need to be very well read in policies. You need to get as many policies as you can. Term, whole life, universal life, variable, and read them. That's your playbook. When you say, no, I've read these policies, I know. And then if you can, if at all possible, you can black out their name and pertinent private information, and you copy it and you keep it in your tablet on a PDF, or we used to have to carry around in our trunk 10 policies. And like, no. Like, oh, you have New York Life? Yeah, let me go. And you show them, this is New York Life, I have the policy. Here it is, here's the policy. Nothing's better than their own. But you're getting checks if you're like that. All right, we're gonna take a break in a minute. Let's go back to the, okay. So, if they have no coverage, okay, and you wanna get the commitment question first, okay, you could do that. Go ahead and click on no coverage. Same thing, you didn't see any, didn't think you never got around to it. Which one described it? Protect your family, important that you be willing to set aside some money each month to take care of this. Rubber hits the road every year. Gotta ask this question. If we can put together a program that will be affordable for you, is there any reason you wouldn't implement that plan? Right? Okay. Now, after that, I don't care if you get the commitment questions on no insurance. You have to go through group. Say, hey, would you mind if I showed you a little bit about group insurance? And how group insurance works, just in case you do have something for your employer, I just want you to be aware of how it works. Right, Ricky does something, I like it. He says something, he says, you know, would you mind if I share with something that I learned when getting my life insurance license? Right, like that you learn, like just something like, so it's like, hey, you know, this is what we know as professionals. And then you break down the policy. Right, hey, well, you know, I take a lawyer, how would it look, right? Hey, Omar, you know, what we're looking at is a policy where if you work for the state of Virginia, imagine you're taking this to an attorney. I mean, it's a great way to be saying the script is on here, okay? It's on the notes, but hey, if you were to take this to an attorney and say, hey, can you review this document for me? It's very important. This is what I'm protecting my family with it. My family's financial future really depends on this. Then go through it, right? He's going to say, oh, well, you're not the owner. They can change it, amend it. It's in the policy. And depending on which time, show the video. Show the video. You know, if you don't have time there and you're doing the application, show the video then. And I just want to show you while I'm going through this. Just want to see just something about group, because you're going to tell a couple stories on group. Show the video. And then go to done. Okay? Now, if you go back to the coverage quadrant. Okay. Cash value, I'm not going to click on that. That's just to explain funny banking, right? 3 evils of cash value. And then term is just if they have term, or you're just explaining our term. Which, you know, remember the presentation and what this is designed for. This is for trainers, okay? So Donald, there's getting the application and then not doing as much work saving the policy. No, mine gets the application. I understand that. But are you getting the calls of, hey, I found cheaper online? I don't want, that's why I'm doing this, Jermaine, you understand? I'm not saying, there might be a better, faster way to get a check, okay. But I want to save those calls at the end. That's why I designed this, you understand what I'm saying? Because I don't want, I have group, I have a better term, I got term, I found online. You know, I'll read you the text, I mean, this is it. This is the text I got, this is not, oh, this is what, I'll read it to you. I don't want these texts anymore. Are some of them unavoidable? Yes, but this is a good dude that applied, that went through his medicals, that cares about it. He's got 3 young kids. and a wife, and he's very family oriented. Hey Shaq, I'm trying to look into life insurance in general and would like to see the price. That's all I said. Because I keep hearing ads and friends who have $15 to $13 a month for $250,000. So I'd like to see the policy. If you could email me the documents or whatever, so I can decide if I'm going to keep it or not. It was $30 a month for $250. Okay, but I have no clue the price now, right? It's amnesia, right? He just wants to hear what he wants to hear. That's my fault. Now I did some things and I reminded him of what I had brought up, but it's still, you gotta explain. Maybe you do it while you're doing the application. Hey, I just want you to understand the benefits of our term. You go through 3 things: term illness benefit, guaranteed conversion, and how term shows itself. How normal term is. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to set a bunch of appointments. We'll meet back, and we're going to have class. They have lunch. We're going to get some pizza. Or I think Dante already got it. Pizza for the class. Make sure that we have a bunch of people scheduled. The most important thing for Saturday is setting appointments in the next 7 days. All right? Team on 1, 2, 3.